Accountants and auditors. Accountants and auditors study financial records in order to give advice on money matters or prepare financial statements. They may prepare income tax forms or advise clients on certain business or financial decisions. Some develop estate plans, accounting systems, or budgets. Others teach courses in a business or professional school or do consulting work. Most accountants and auditors have a college degree in accounting or business administration. Most large firms require a bachelor's degree in accounting for entry-level positions. Some firms prefer a master's degree. An employer may prefer accountants and auditors to pass the CPA examination. Most states require that accountants take an exam in order to become certified. Accountants and auditors must be able to work quickly and accurately with numbers, read and write well, and reason and make good judgments. They can work for large businesses and industries, accounting firms, insurance companies, brokerage companies, banks, savings and loan companies, business and professional schools, or federal, state, and local government agencies. Some accountants and auditors become controllers, treasurers, or corporation presidents. Others become partners or owners of their own accounting firm. The military services also have accountants and auditors. Accountants and auditors usually work inside and have regular work schedules. Self-employed accountants and auditors may have their offices at home, and they work as many hours as business requires. Tax accountants work long hours under heavy pressure during the tax season. Accountants and auditors employed by large firms may have to travel to perform audits or to work for clients. Job duties are to give advice on money matters, prepare financial statements, prepare income tax forms or advise clients on tax matters, and to develop accounting systems for clients. The wage and salary range is between $25,000 and $52,000 a year for experienced workers, and the education and training required is a college or university degree in accounting. The outlook for accountants is very good. For more information, contact the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, 1211 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036, or the National Association of Accountants, 919 3rd Avenue, New York, New York, 10022. Educational administrators. Educational administrators perform managerial duties in colleges and universities, elementary and secondary schools, or vocational and technical schools. Those who work in colleges might serve as presidents, chancellors, deans, chairpersons of academic departments, or as directors of admissions or athletic programs. Some of these administrators determine policies for the school or plan and direct social, recreational, and academic programs. They take part in faculty committee work, conduct research projects, or organize and direct the production of publications. Some advise students on personal problems, educational and career plans, or financial aid. School administrators work as superintendents, principals, or assistant principals in elementary or high schools. They direct administrative and counseling activities and make sure that school programs meet state and school board standards. They plan programs, enforce school rules, and assign teachers and pupils to classes. All the states and the District of Columbia require that school administrators be certified. To be successful, educational administrators must be well organized, should enjoy working with all kinds of people, and be able to present information and ideas clearly. These administrators spend much of their time in an office. Generally, they work a standard 35 to 40-hour week. However, at certain times, such as the start or end of the school year, they may work overtime. They may work with or entertain associates in their homes after working hours or on weekends. Many attend meetings and school functions during evening and weekend hours. Depending on the area of work, some of these administrators may be employed on a 10-month contract, while others work 12 months. University administrators usually must have a doctoral degree. Positions such as college or university presidents and deans are usually gained through promotion from another university job, such as professor, department head, assistant dean, or counselor. For school administrators, teaching experience and graduate training in education administration are required. Most must have a master's degree or postgraduate degree. Some are promoted from jobs as teacher, coach, or school counselor. Job duties are to perform managerial duties in colleges and schools, to determine policies for the institution, direct academic programs, and to supervise faculty members. The wage and salary range is $20,000 to $51,000 a year for experienced people. Education and training required is a master's or doctoral degree from a college or university, and the outlook for education administrators is fair to stable. For more information, contact the American Association of University Professors, located at 1 DuPont Circle Northwest, Suite 500, Washington, D.C., 20036, or the American Association of School Administrators, 1801 North Moore Street, Arlington, Virginia, 22209.
Financial managers. Financial managers are in charge of departments that handle the financial matters of companies or government agencies and help them use their money wisely. They plan ways to lower costs and increase the earnings of a company. They study tax laws to take the best advantage of tax deductions, and they prepare financial reports. They must be able to use math and statistics, work well with people, and pay close attention to detail. They work for banks and savings and loan companies, financial planning businesses, or any company that has a specific department to handle its financial affairs. Many work in federal and state government agencies. Experience as a management trainee is usually required for financial managers. Management trainees should have a bachelor's or master's degree in business administration with a major in finance, economics, or accounting. Experienced financial managers may make between $25,000 and $65,000 a year. Most of them work in offices and have a standard 35 to 40-hour week. Overtime and some travel may be required. These jobs are at the top of a career ladder. They require a person to have a large amount of work experience. Expect to face stiff competition for the jobs that are available. Job duties of the financial manager include managing departments that handle the financial matters of companies, planning ways to increase a company's earnings, preparing financial reports, and advising on corporate tax matters. Salary for this position is between $25,000 and $60,000 a year for experienced workers. Education and training requirements are a bachelor's or master's degree in business administration. The outlook for this position is very good. And for additional information, contact the American Bankers Association at 1120 Connecticut Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Hotel and restaurant managers. Hotel and restaurant managers plan, organize, and direct the operation of businesses that serve foods or provide lodging services to people. They may manage restaurants, hotels, school cafeterias, trailer parks, or similar businesses. These managers determine the types and amounts of goods or services to be sold and may determine prices and credit policies. In addition, they plan budgets and order supplies. They hire and supervise staff, handle customer and worker complaints, and keep business records. They may also direct the preparation of food plan, dining room, bar, and banquet operations. Some of the attributes hotel and restaurant managers must have are the ability to work easily with people, use principles of mathematics, pay attention to details, be well organized, and make good decisions. Many of these jobs require evening, weekend, and holiday work. Hotel and restaurant managers often have to work long hours. Travel may be required to go to meetings or to the main office of the company which owns the hotel or restaurant. Many employers require that applicants have an associate degree or bachelor's degree in hotel and restaurant management. Community and junior colleges also offer specialized training. In some colleges, students in this program receive on-the-job training through the Cooperative Education Program. It usually takes 2 years to get an associate degree in this field. Some colleges and universities offer a 4-year degree program. Employers may accept applicants without formal training who have previous work experience in this field. Sometimes managers are promoted from other jobs such as clerks and assistant managers. These managers may work in hotels, motels, motor inns, trailer parks, and other lodging facilities. They may also work in restaurants, bars, supper clubs, cafeterias, and other eating places. A few work in summer camps, resorts, construction camps, and other live-in facilities. Others work in hospitals and nursing homes or in the 4 main branches of the military services. Some people open their own businesses and work for themselves. Hotel chains and large restaurants offer better chances for advancement than smaller independent ones. However, a person may begin working for a small business and then move to a higher paying position with a larger establishment. Job duties are to organize and direct the operation of businesses that serve foods or provide lodging services, to determine the types and amounts of goods or services to be sold, to plan budgets and order supplies, and to hire and supervise staff. The wage and salary for experienced restaurant managers and assistants is between $18,000 to $25,000 per year. For experienced hotel managers, the range is between $32,000 to $39,000. Education and training required is a bachelor's degree or a 2-year college degree in hotel and restaurant management. The outlook for hotel restaurant managers is good. For additional information, contact the American Hotel and Motel Association, 888 7th Avenue, New York, New York, 10019, or the Hotel Sales Management International, 1400 K Street, Northwest, Suite 810, Washington, D.C., 20005. Industrial managers. People who work as industrial managers are near the top of a career ladder. Many begin their working careers as middle-level managers at a manufacturing company and move up the ladder by receiving promotions. There are several ways people prepare themselves to be qualified for these jobs. Some have bachelor's or master's degrees in business administration or finance from a college or university. Others have completed a 2-year degree program in business administration at a technical college or vocational school. Some of these managers begin with jobs on production lines and work their way up to management positions. When hiring or promoting workers to be industrial managers, employers look for people who are very good at working with other people, both the people they supervise and those for whom they work. Another important skill that industrial managers must have is the ability to make good decisions based on measurable criteria as well as on their own judgment. Industrial managers work inside most of the time. They also have to be able to work in a situation where they have a large variety of duties that can change often. Some may work where there is a lot of noise and vibration and where they are exposed to fumes, odors, and dust. Industrial managers must have good verbal skills and be able to communicate ideas clearly. Some of their job-related duties include hiring and firing workers, working with supervisors of other divisions in the company, assigning work tasks to the people they supervise, mediating differences between workers, planning budgets for their divisions, and inspecting the production work in their unit. The growth rate for these jobs is not as great as in most jobs in the economy. Industrial managers can advance in their career by moving to other managerial jobs in their own company or can move to a larger company. Some become consultants who work for themselves and advise manufacturing companies on ways to increase their productivity and improve employee relations. The basic job duties are overseeing all aspects of production work, hiring and firing of workers, assigning job duties to workers, and working with other supervisors in the company. The wage and salary scale for beginning workers is $18,000 to $20,000 per year. For experienced workers, the range is $25,000 to $45,000 per year. Education and training requires 2- or 4-year college degree in business administration or in a related field. The occupational outlook. The growth rate is slower than for most jobs through 1995. You can expect stiff competition for the jobs that do exist. For additional information, contact the American Management Association Management Information Service, 135 West 50th Street, New York, New York, 10020, or contact the National Management Association, 2210 Arbor Boulevard, Dayton, Ohio, 45439.
Management analysts. Management analysts analyze business operations to find ways to help managers operate more efficiently and effectively. They conduct studies, design new work systems and procedures, and look for ways to simplify work. Management analysts might work in any large business or organization. They are also employed by federal, state, or local government agencies and in the military services. They usually work in offices. However, they may spend time in workshops or factories watching how work is done. Some jobs require travel to study and evaluate operations. Management analysts generally have a 35 to 40-hour work week. The growth of job openings is expected to continue through the next 5 years. Management analysts should be able to learn quickly, work well with people, be well organized in work situations, present information and ideas clearly, and be able to use math and statistics. The job duties include analyzing business operations, planning ways to improve productivity, designing methods to simplify work activities, and conducting studies of management procedures. The wages and salary will be between $20,000 and $55,000 a year on the average for experienced workers. Education and training requirements include a college degree in a business field, and the job outlook is good. For more information, contact the American Management Association, Management Information Service, 135 West 50th Street, New York, New York, 10020. Purchasing agents and buyers. Purchasing agents and buyers purchase goods for resale in wholesale and retail stores. They attend fashion trade shows, visit showrooms, or talk with sales workers to select merchandise that will satisfy their store's customers. Buyers must be able to judge the resale value of goods and make a purchase decision quickly. To be successful in the job, buyers must be able to use good judgment, pay attention to details, and work well with people. Many buyers work for retail stores or chains. Some work for wholesale outlets, grain mills, tobacco warehouses, or other types of industries. A buyer for a small store may purchase its complete stock of goods. Those who work for larger businesses usually handle one or a few related lines of goods. Buyers often work more than a 40-hour week because of special sales, conferences, and travel. The amount of traveling a buyer does varies with the type of merchandise bought and the location of supplies. Often, they will have to spend 4 or 5 days a month on the road. Most large companies prefer to hire purchasing agents and buyers who have a college degree in a business field or marketing. Large companies may have on-the-job training and classroom instruction. Knowledge of merchandise, wholesaling, and retailing is required. Experience is often gained as an assistant buyer or buyer trainee. Experienced buyers and agents may make between $23,000 and $40,000 a year. People in these jobs can move up to become purchasing managers, directors of purchasing, or directors of materials management. These jobs are near the top of a career ladder and require a person to have a large amount of work experience. Expect to face stiff competition for the jobs that are available. Job duties include purchasing goods to be sold in retail stores, attending trade shows to inspect new merchandise lines, judging the resale value of various articles, and talking with sales workers to determine customers' preferences for different lines of merchandise. Salary ranges for this position will be between $23,000 and $40,000 a year for experienced workers. Educational requirements include a college degree in business or marketing. The outlook for this position is very good. And for more information, contact the National Association of Purchasing Management at 496 Kinderkammock Road, Oradell, New Jersey, 07649. Sales representatives. Sales representatives sell goods to business and industrial concerns as representatives of manufacturers or distributors. They either work in showrooms or travel throughout an assigned territory, meeting with customers and explaining products. They help retailers or industries decide which products best meet their needs. They quote prices, fill out sales contracts, arrange credit terms, and give delivery dates. One of their most important job tasks is to find new customers. They also must keep records of their calls and sales and submit reports to their employer. The employment outlook for sales representatives is expected to be fair to good over the next 10 years. Some of these sales representatives work for a salary plus commission, and others work for a straight commission based on the dollar amount of their sales. In order to be successful, sales representatives must have a pleasant personality, enjoy working with people, and have a lot of physical stamina. They must travel a great deal and spend most of their time talking with customers. They work long hours and spend their evenings writing reports or planning their schedules. They work for companies that manufacture goods and products such as printing and publishing firms, fabricated metal products producers, electrical products and parts manufacturers, drug companies, technical products producers, and machinery industries. Some are independent sales representatives and may represent more than one manufacturer. Most employers prefer to hire representatives who have a college degree. Some employers hire people without a degree who have previous sales experience. Manufacturers of non-technical products usually hire people with degrees in liberal arts or business administration. Manufacturers of technical products look for people with degrees in science or engineering. Some companies have formal training programs for beginning sales workers which may last up to 2 years. Sales representatives with good sales records and leadership ability become supervisors or branch managers. The job duties include finding new customers for their products, meeting with customers and explaining products, helping retailers and industries decide which products best meet their needs, quoting prices, filling out sales contracts, and arranging credit terms and giving delivery dates. The salary will be between $16,000 and $35,000 a year and more. The educational requirements include a bachelor's degree from a college or university. The job outlook is fair to good. And for more information, contact the Sales and Marketing Executives International, Career Education Division, 380 Lexington Avenue, New York, New York, 10017.
Stockbrokers. Stockbrokers buy and sell stocks, bonds, and other securities for their customers. They research the performances of companies and stay up to date with national and international stock market trends. They advise their customers about good financial investments. When an investor wishes to buy or sell stocks, bonds, or other securities, stockbrokers take the orders, relay the orders through their company's offices to the floor of a securities exchange, such as the New York Stock Exchange. If a stock is not offered on a securities exchange, it is traded by the company in the over-the-counter market. After the transaction has been completed, the stockbroker sends the information to the customer. Stockbrokers often work for a salary plus commission. Newly employed stockbrokers handle small individual accounts for the company, but those with experience and a good sales record with the firm often handle large corporate or international accounts. Most stockbrokers work inside in an office. They ordinarily have a normal 40-hour work week. The job requires only light physical effort. However, there may be a great deal of stress related to the job. A bachelor's degree from a college or university is usually required for entry into the job. Many employers prefer college majors in an area of business administration, economics, or finance. Specific training related to the job is often provided by the employer. All securities sales workers must meet state licensing requirements. Some must pass examinations and meet national requirements for stockbrokers. They may also have to register as representatives of their firm with the National Association of Securities Dealers. People interested in working as a stockbroker should enjoy selling things, like working with other people, and enjoy solving problems. They must be good at mathematics and be able to reason and make good judgments. They should have above-average learning ability and language skills. The employment outlook for stockbrokers is expected to be very good through the mid-1990s. Employment in this field expands as the result of economic growth, rising personal income, and an increase in institutional investors. Job duties include buying and selling stocks, bonds, and other securities for customers, researching the performance of businesses, staying up to date with national and international stock market trends, and advising customers about good financial investments. The salary range is from $25,000 to more than $100,000 a year for experienced workers. Education requirements include at least a bachelor's degree from a college or university with a major in business administration, finance, or economics, and a state license. The job outlook is very good. For more information, contact the Securities Industry Association, 120 Broadway, New York, New York, 10271. Agricultural and food scientists. Agricultural and food scientists usually work at experimental farms and gardens. They may spend some time in labs or classrooms. Some work around animals or dangerous chemicals, so safety rules must be followed. These scientists study ways to produce foods, fibers, and other farm products. They also look for new and better ways to manage and protect these resources. Many do research in labs to increase crop yields, to improve breeding techniques, or to control insects. Others teach in community colleges, or universities. Most of these scientists work a regular 40-hour work week. Weekend or evening work may be required when a research project is being conducted. People in these jobs must have a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in agriculture or life sciences. Those with bachelor's degrees often begin as research assistants or technicians and advance after they obtain more work experience or advanced degrees. There are not a large number of these jobs in the United States. However, the employment outlook for these scientists is good. Employment will increase faster than the average for all occupations. The average salary range for most experienced agricultural and food scientists is between $28,000 and $45,000 a year. In order to be successful in these jobs, people must be able to organize their work, present information and ideas clearly, use math and statistics, and work with formulas and equations. Agricultural and food scientists may work for food processing companies, large crop and dairy farms, colleges and universities, plant nurseries, pest control companies, or state agricultural extension stations. Job duties include developing new ways to get crops to produce more per acre, conducting research to find out how to limit diseases in food plants, performing chemical tests on soils to see what kind of fertilizers are needed, and discovering the causes of disease in plants and animals and how to control them. The salary range is between $28,000 and $40,000 a year for experienced agricultural and food scientists. Education required is a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in agriculture or life sciences from a college or university. The job outlook is good. For more information, contact the American Society of Agronomy, 677 South Seagull Road, Madison, Wisconsin, 53711, or the American Society for Horticultural Science, Post Office Box 109, St. Louis, Missouri, 49085.
Biological scientists. Biological scientists study living things. Most of the work of biological scientists is in research and development. They conduct research to gain information about living organisms that can be used to solve problems in medicine, industry, and agriculture. Often they use complex research techniques and lab equipment to do their work. Many biological scientists do consulting work, teach, or write for technical journals. Some test and inspect food, drugs, or other products. Biological scientists may work for chemical companies, food processing companies, drug manufacturing firms, colleges and universities, medical schools, or agricultural experiment stations. They may also work for federal agencies, such as the Department of Agriculture, Department of Interior, or the National Institutes of Health. Some work for state and local government agencies or research organizations and foundations. Biological scientists generally work a regular 40-hour week. However, many work extra hours. Some biological scientists, such as botanists, biologists, and zoologists, take field trips that may involve physical labor and primitive living conditions. Anyone interested in a career in this field should plan to get an advanced degree. A doctoral degree is generally required for college teaching, administrative jobs, or independent research. A master's degree is sufficient for some jobs in applied research. A bachelor's degree is usually adequate preparation for high school teaching and for a technical assistant job. Helpful school subjects include biology, botany, zoology, chemistry, anatomy, mathematics, physics, and English. The employment outlook for biological scientists is good. Biological scientists with advanced degrees may move into jobs as supervisors of research programs. Most biological scientists work in laboratories. Those who teach also work in classrooms. They may be exposed to dangerous chemicals and must wear safety glasses, rubber gloves, and lab coats. Safety rules must be followed. The average salary range for most experienced biological scientists is between $20,000 and $35,000 a year. Some specific activities of biological scientists include studying plants and animals that live in the water, such as seaweed, clams, and snails, studying the origin and development of animals, or conducting research to find out how the brain transfers information. The job duties of this position include conducting research to find out what effects foods and drugs have on people, using a microscope to study how cells of plants and animals divide into new cells, identifying and classifying plants and animals, studying how traits such as eye color and resistance to disease are passed along to offspring. The salary range for these positions will be between $20,000 and $35,000 a year for experienced biological scientists. Educational requirements include bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in biology from a college or university. The job outlook is good. And for more information, contact the American Institute of Biological Sciences at 3900 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20016, or the American Society for Microbiology at 1918 I Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20006. Chemists. Chemists study substances and materials and test them to find out what they are made of and to see how they respond to other substances. They use their knowledge to develop chemical compounds and to improve products. Most chemists work in research and development. However, some work in production, sales, inspection, teaching, and consulting. Some chemists plan research programs to make and test liquids and gases, and others plan and direct the work in chemical labs for research organizations. They might test food samples such as starch, sugar, meat, and cereals to see if they meet food laws, or experiment with natural and man-made materials to develop new kinds of food, paint, rubber, glass, plastic, and other products. Many work for research organizations or manufacturing firms, especially those that make chemicals and chemical products. Some work in colleges and universities or federal, state, or local government agencies. Chemists work inside most of the time in labs, classrooms, or offices. They often work with dangerous substances such as acids, heated glass and metal, and radioactive materials, so frequently they must wear protective clothing such as eyeglasses, rubber or asbestos-lined coats, or gloves. Safety rules must be followed. Usually chemists work a regular 40-hour week. Travel is often required to visit work sites or research facilities. Chemists must be able to understand and work with formulas, scientific equations, and graphs, and use advanced math and statistics. A professional chemist must have at least a bachelor's degree in chemistry or biochemistry. Many jobs require a master's or doctoral degree. Chemists who conduct basic or applied research, or who teach in colleges and universities, usually must have a doctoral degree. Graduates with a bachelor's degree may begin as product or technical salespeople, testers, or research assistants. With experience and more education, chemists may move to administrative positions. The average salary range for many experienced chemists is between $29,000 and $42,000 a year, depending on their education and experience. In 1985, there were more than 93,000 chemists in the United States. By 1995, there are projected to be between 107,000 and 111,000 jobs for chemists. The growth rate for jobs over the next 10 years is expected to be 25%. The job duties include developing chemical compounds, conducting research to test liquids and gases, testing food samples to see if they meet food purity laws, and developing new kinds of products such as paint, glass, or plastic. The salary range will be between $29,000 and $42,000 a year for experienced chemists. The educational requirements include a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in chemistry from a college or university. The job outlook is good. And for more information, contact the American Institute of Chemists, 79 Madison Avenue, New York, New York 10016, or the American Chemical Society at 1155 16th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20036. Computer scientists. Computer scientists plan and design computer systems and software programs to solve scientific, engineering, business, and military problems. They determine what data must be collected, the equipment needed for computer systems, and how the computer will store, process, and produce the information. They also prepare reports to help clients understand computer systems. They may prepare cost-benefit studies to find out whether a system would provide a satisfactory return on investment. They may work in a wide range of settings, including colleges and universities, consulting firms, government agencies, research organizations, and banks. Some become self-employed computer consultants. These scientists work mainly in offices. They might have to travel to work in a variety of locations while designing a system. They usually work about 40 hours a week. Evening or weekend work may be required to finish emergency jobs. Almost all jobs require at least a bachelor's degree. Many employers seek workers with a degree in computer science, information systems, or data processing. The field of computer science changes and advances very quickly, and these people must keep learning to stay up to date. Additional training may be provided by employers or by companies that make computers. The job duties of computer scientists include designing computer systems and software programs to solve scientific problems, determining equipment needed for specific computer systems, planning a computer system to support military operations, or determining the type of data needed for a computer system. The salary range will be between $25,000 and $40,000 a year for experienced workers. Educational requirements, at a minimum, a bachelor's degree in computer science or information science from a college or university. And the job outlook is excellent. For more information, contact the American Federation of Information Processing Societies at 210 Summit Avenue, Montvale, New Jersey, 07645. Forestry and conservation scientists. Forestry and conservation scientists are concerned with the development, preservation, and use of forest resources. They study woodland conditions and plan ways to ensure that forest resources meet present and future needs. They develop ways to protect resources against fire, disease, insects, floods, and erosion. Some do research to uncover scientific information and facts necessary for the protection of these resources. Many forestry and conservation scientists work in federal government agencies such as the Department of Agriculture, Parks and Recreation, and Soil Conservation Service. Some work in state and local government agencies concerned with forestry and conservation. Others work for research organizations and public utilities, or teach forestry and conservation science in colleges and universities. Forestry and conservation scientists prepare maps of forest areas, plan ways to preserve or improve soil conditions, and help manage forest land. They conduct research to find better ways of cutting and removing timber without waste, and of thinning forests to encourage the growth of seedlings. Some look for ways to turn waste wood materials into useful products, while others study areas of rangeland to determine the best grazing locations for livestock. Many organize fire prevention programs for the public and conduct field trips through woodland areas. Forestry and conservation scientists spend a good deal of time outdoors in forests and woodlands. When they are conducting tests, they may spend long hours in laboratories. Those who teach usually work inside offices and classrooms. Work hours in this occupation vary according to the area of specialization and workload. Forestry and conservation scientists who do lab research or teach generally have a regular schedule. Others spend most of their time in field research, which requires long hours and travel to conduct surveys, inspect forest areas, and meet with other scientists. The job outlook for forestry and conservation scientists is fair. Employment will not increase rapidly over the next 10 years. Forestry and conservation scientists should be able to present information and ideas clearly and read and write well. They should be in good physical condition and enjoy working outdoors. They need to pay close attention to details and be able to use math and statistics. Forestry and conservation scientists need at least a bachelor's degree in forestry, life science, soil conservation, or range management. Many employers prefer to hire people with advanced degrees. For some jobs, such as university teaching or advanced research positions, employers require a doctoral degree. The job duties include managing and developing forest land, conducting research to help protect woodlands and soil quality, mapping forest areas, and studying life histories and diseases of different types of trees. The salary range will be between $24,000 and $34,000 a year. The educational requirements include a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in forestry, life science, soil conservation, or range management from a college or university. And the job outlook is fair. For more information, contact the Society of American Foresters, 5400 Grosvenor Lane, Bethesda, Maryland, 20814. Or the American Forestry Association, 1319 18th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Geologists. Geologists study the structure, makeup, and history of the Earth's crust. Some study water, gas, and oil supplies within the Earth. Others examine surface rocks and drill for rock cores to find out how rocks are arranged below the Earth's surface. Many geologists identify rocks and minerals, conduct field surveys, draw maps, take measurements, and record data. They can also help predict earthquakes and aid in finding oil and ore deposits. They generally work with symbols and formulas and use advanced math and statistics. They must also have good eye-hand coordination and be able to crawl, stoop, bend, and balance. Geologists spend most of their time working outside, although some of the time may be spent in a classroom or lab. They may have to work in pits, caverns, caves, tunnels, or mines where they may be exposed to dirt, odors, and harmful chemicals. Many of these jobs require travel to remote places. A bachelor's degree in geology or geophysics is the minimum requirement to obtain an entry-level job as a geologist. Most employers prefer people with advanced degrees. Some people with work experience and college degrees in related fields, such as life science or physics, become geologists. They work for oil companies, mining and quarrying companies, construction firms, consulting and research firms, museums, or federal government agencies. Some work for themselves as a partner or owner of their own business. The average salary range for most experienced geologists is between $25,000 and $40,000 a year. Geologists often study charts of rock formations to find underground gas, oil, and water. They study plant and animal fossils to learn what the Earth was like many years ago and plan and direct research in these areas. The employment outlook for geologists is good. Those with experienced and advanced degrees may become project leaders or directors. Job duties include studying the size, shape, and gravity of the Earth, using tools and instruments to study the materials in the Earth's crust, studying what is on the bottom and underneath the bottom of the ocean, and identifying rocks, minerals, and gems. The salary range is between $25,000 and $40,000 a year for experienced geologists. The education required is a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in geology or a related field, such as life science or physics. The job outlook is good. For more information, contact the American Geological Institute, 5202 Leesburg Pike, Falls Church, Virginia, 22041, or the Society for Exploration Geophysicists, Post Office Box 3098, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74101. Meteorologists. Meteorologists may work for airports, National Aeronautic and Space Administration, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, radio and TV stations, colleges and universities. Some work for weather consulting firms, aerospace firms, engineering companies, and companies that design and produce weather measuring instruments. They usually work in weather stations, labs, or office buildings. Sometimes they must work outside in all kinds of weather to collect weather information. Some of them give weather information for radio and TV stations. Meteorologists study the atmosphere and climate. They study current weather information such as air pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind velocity to predict the weather. They forecast the weather for the next few days and for the distant future. Some teach or do research. The average salary range for most experienced meteorologists is between $16,000 and $31,000 a year. Meteorologists frequently work longer than a 40-hour work week. Many jobs require night work or rotating shift work. A bachelor's degree in meteorology is usually required for entry into this work. Most employers prefer people with master's or doctoral degrees in meteorology. People with advanced degrees and work experience can be promoted to administrative positions. The employment outlook for meteorologists is only fair. The growth rate for jobs over the next 10 years is expected to be slower than that for most jobs in the economy. Meteorologists have to be able to work with advanced math and statistics, pay close attention to details, draw maps and diagrams, and use computers. They must also be able to present information and ideas in a clear manner. Job duties include interpreting data collected by weather stations and satellites, using computers to study and analyze weather information, preparing weather reports and special forecasts for airplane pilots and ship officers, and giving out hurricane or severe storm warnings. The salary range is between $16,000 and $31,000 a year for experienced meteorologists. The education required is a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in meteorology from a college or university. The job outlook is fair. For more information, contact the American Meteorology Society, 45 Beacon Street, Boston, Massachusetts, 02108, or the Environmental Science Services Administration, Department of Commerce, Washington Science Center, Building 5, Rockville, Maryland, 20852.
Physicists. Physicists use the principles, laws, and theories of matter and energy to help solve problems in science, industry, and other fields. Most physicists specialize in one area of physics, such as astrophysics, solar physics, or nuclear physics. Some do basic research to increase scientific knowledge. For example, they may look at the structure of atoms or study the nature of gravity. Many conduct research to understand the geomagnetic activity on Earth brought about by events occurring on the Sun. They use astrophysical data, photographs of the Sun, and computers to predict the day-to-day variations in the geomagnetic activity here on Earth. They provide information to government agencies or the public about their findings. Physicists may work in research organizations, forecast laboratories, or observatories where they monitor astrophysical activity. Some teach in colleges and universities or work in government agencies where they collect data, do research, write reports, and speak at conferences. Others work in private industry, for consulting firms, or in the field of medicine. Physicists often use computers in their work. They may design electronic circuits, laser equipment, or satellites. Some use devices such as lasers and mass spectrometers to study the atomic structure of matter. They may direct tests to measure the radiation levels of matter or teach medical physics to doctors and students about using radiation in the treatment of disease. Physicists must understand the scientific approaches to solving problems, use advanced mathematics and statistics, and work with the symbols used in formulas, graphs, and equations. They should be able to organize their work and present ideas and information clearly. It is important that they pay attention to details, and they must be able to work well on their own. Physicists may work inside laboratories, offices, or classrooms. Most physicists have a standard 40-hour work week, although there are times when overtime is required in order to collect time-specific data or to meet deadlines. The employment outlook for physicists is good. Those with experience may advance to jobs as research directors or project directors. Some go to work in top management. Those who develop new procedures or products sometimes start their own companies. An entry-level job as a physicist requires at least a master's degree in one of the various areas of physics. Many physicists begin work as laboratory assistants and advance to higher positions. Most employers prefer an applicant to have a doctoral degree in physics or a closely related field. Advanced degrees are required for university teaching positions. The job duties include using computers to analyze data and solve problems, studying physical matter and energy, designing circuitry and lasers for studying atomic structure, and describing the relationships between matter and energy. The salary range will be between $28,000 and $45,000 a year for many experienced physicists. The educational requirements include a master's or doctoral degree in physics or a related field from a college or university. And the job outlook is good. For more information, contact the American Institute of Physics, 335 East 45th Street, New York, New York, 10017, or the Health Physics Society at 194 Pilgrim Road, Boston, Massachusetts, 02215.
Statisticians. Statisticians use math to design, conduct, and evaluate the results of experiments, surveys, and opinion polls. They also use math to predict what might happen in the future. They often apply their knowledge in a certain subject area such as economics, human behavior, natural sciences, or engineering. Some statisticians use mathematical theories to design and improve statistical methods. Others teach or do consulting work. Statisticians with advanced degrees and experience may be promoted to administrative positions or teach and conduct research in universities. Those who combine their work in statistics with computer science will have the best job opportunities. They work for consulting firms, private industry, colleges and universities, or government agencies. Job duties include using statistics to analyze the results of scientific experiments, presenting numerical information in the form of computer printouts, graphs, diagrams, and tables, determining how valid the results of a study are, and conducting research to find new methods of getting data. Salary range is between $21,000 and $36,000 a year for experienced statisticians. Education required is a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree in statistics, mathematics, or economics from a college or university. The job outlook is very good. For more information, contact the American Statistical Association, 810 18th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20006.